Japan is known for its unique blend of ancient traditions and cutting-edge modernity. While many aspects of Japanese culture are admired worldwide, there are practices in Japan that are legal but considered illegal or restricted elsewhere. From social behaviors to business practices, Japan's relaxed attitudes on some issues may surprise you. In this video, we'll explore things okay in Japan but illegal around the world. By the way, make sure to explore the description box for hand-picked products I've found with great reviews on Amazon and other stores. Let's dive in. 1. Drinking alcohol in public walking. Down the street with an open beer or casually sipping a drink in a park is completely legal in Japan. Public drinking is widely accepted, and it's especially common during festivals like Hanami, when people gather under cherry blossoms to celebrate and enjoy food and drinks. In contrast, many countries have strict laws against drinking alcohol in public spaces. For example, in the United States, most cities have open container laws that make it illegal to consume alcohol in public, and countries like Canada and the UK have similar restrictions. Japan's acceptance of public drinking stands out as surprisingly lenient. 2nd, Pachinko parlors. Gambling. Pachinko is a popular form of gambling in Japan that resembles a mix between pinball and slot machines. Despite Japan's strict gambling laws, Pachinko operates in a legal gray area. Players win prizes that can be exchanged for cash at nearby locations, allowing Pachinko parlors to thrive while sidestepping the gambling restrictions. In contrast, gambling is outright illegal or heavily restricted in many countries. China and Thailand, for example, have strict bans on gambling outside of regulated zones like casinos, making Japan's Pachinko culture a unique and legally complex phenomenon. 3. Owning and carrying real swords. Katana. The katana, a traditional Japanese sword, is a cultural symbol that many people legally own in Japan. Collectors, martial artists, and even some ordinary citizens keep katana as cultural artifacts. However, in countries like the UK and Australia, owning or carrying swords, especially in public, is heavily restricted or illegal, whereas Japan's relaxed approach to katana ownership is seen as preserving cultural heritage. 4. Love hotels. Love hotels are a common part of Japan's hospitality industry, offering private rooms for couples on a short-term basis. These themed hotels cater to couples seeking discretion and are widely accepted in Japanese culture. In many other countries, establishments that cater exclusively to short-term romantic encounters would face harsh regulations or social stigma. Conservative nations like Saudi Arabia and Iran would likely ban such hotels altogether, while even in more liberal countries, they might be frowned upon. 5. Age of consent. One of the most controversial aspects of Japanese law is the national age of consent, which is 13 years old, one of the lowest in the world. While most prefectures have additional regulations raising the age to 16 to 18, the national legal minimum remains 13. This stands in stark contrast to most developed countries, where the age of consent is typically much higher. In the US, for example, it ranges between 16 and 18, while in European countries like Germany and the UK, it's typically set at 16. Japan's lower national standard has drawn criticism both locally and internationally, and discussions about reform continue. 6. High levels of formality in schools. In Japan, school life is highly structured, and students are often required to clean their own classrooms as part of their daily routine. This practice, intended to teach discipline, would be seen as problematic in other countries where child labor laws might raise concerns. In addition to cleaning, Japanese schools have strict dress codes, sometimes prohibiting students from dyeing their hair or wearing makeup. These rules, though seen as fostering discipline in Japan, could be considered overly harsh or infringing on personal expression in many other parts of the world. 7. Standing on business cards. In Japan, business cards are treated with extreme respect, and there's a formal ritual surrounding their exchange. Failing to treat a business card with respect, such as standing on it or handling it carelessly, can damage one's professional reputation. While not technically illegal, this social faux pas could have serious consequences in Japan's business world. In other countries, such as the US or Europe, treating a business card disrespectfully would be considered rude, but likely wouldn't have the same severe implications. 8. Public bathhouses, onsen. Japan's public bathhouses, known as onsen, encourage communal nudity as a way to relax and socialize. While perfectly normal in Japan, the idea of public nudity is far less accepted elsewhere. In countries like the United States and Germany, public nudity is heavily regulated and often illegal in most public spaces. Even in places where people gather for bathing, like spas or saunas, restrictions on nudity tend to be much stricter. Japan's relaxed attitude towards nudity in public bathhouses is a unique cultural element that stands out globally. 9. Smoking in public. Japan has a relatively high tolerance for smoking in public compared to many other developed countries. While smoking bans have increased in major cities like Tokyo, smoking in designated areas in restaurants, bars, and public places remains legal. This is a sharp contrast to countries like the UK, Australia, and parts of the US, where indoor smoking has been banned for years. Japan's leniency towards smoking in public places is notable. 10. Work culture and unpaid. Over time, Japanese work culture is famous, or infamous, for its long hours and unpaid overtime. In many companies, employees are expected to work well beyond their official hours without any additional compensation. This phenomenon, known as karoshi, or death by overwork, has led to tragic cases but is still widely practiced. In countries like the United States, Australia, and much of Europe, labor laws mandate overtime pay for extra hours worked, and failure to compensate employees can lead to legal consequences. Japan's work culture is seen by many as excessive, yet it remains a deeply ingrained part of the professional environment. Japan's legal and cultural landscape is a fascinating mixture of old traditions and modern-day pragmatism. While many practices in Japan are seen as normal, or even essential to daily life, they stand in stark contrast to the laws and customs of many other countries. Japan's approach to social and legal issues continues to surprise and intrigue outsiders. What do you think? Would you enjoy living in a country where these things are legal? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it when you use my affiliate links in the description. It helps me keep bringing you content like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating content on culture. See you in the next video.